Afternoon. Hey, Joel Boer here and
Chelsea Molina.
all right, we're here with Connect360 and here at First Direct. So what we're kicking off here is this is the first. So if you're watching this, this is the first of our weekly open office hours. And what we want to do, because we get asked questions all the time on how to do different things. And so what we want to do is simplify this whole process. And we're just going to break it apart into different questions each time. Let's make sure we're live everywhere that we are to be live. Let's see here. Let's make sure we're going live on Instagram here as well. And make sure that this is good. This should be good right here. Brianna, could you by chance check Instagram and see if we're kicking off there? We should be. Let me grab my phone over here and go with the first one. Hey, we're going to work through the kinks just a little bit. Sweet, we're live there. Okay, fantastic. So, hey, what we're talking about today, I see that we're talking about conversational. I'm going to put this in the Instagram here real quick. Conversational AI is what we're going to talk about. So, there we go. And we're going to jump back over here. All right. So, we are going to dive deep into something that we get asked about all the time. Like, if this AI thing is a confusing thing for a lot of people. Some people kind of are wondering, well, what's that in relation to, how can I use it for my business, whatever the case may be. And I think we just lost our live over here. Nope, we're good. Okay. So how can I use it for my business? And so what we wanted to kind of break it down was some very cool and effective ways that you can use AI in conversation settings for your business. And the problem that we hear a lot of times is from businesses as far as like, okay, well, if I put a web chat on my website, like now I have to put an employee on that to watch that. And if you think about like your own experiences as a consumer, like I'm sure you've gone to websites, Chelsea, that have a little chat bot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what are you hoping? Like, why would you even use the chat bot? Let's just focus on, we're going to talk about conversational AI, but let's just focus on one little thing about where we're going to use conversational AI and why it's important. So if you think about like you go to a website and you start a conversation with a chat bot, why would you even do that? What would motivate you?
So sometimes I don't want to talk on the phone, or I just don't want to take the gamble if somebody's either going to answer me or if I have to use an email. So with web chat, it's automatic, it's fast. If I'm in a rush, I'm not going to take the time to wait for somebody to answer the phone. I'm just going to see who's going to answer me the fastest. So
right now the key things she said is answer her the fastest. Right now, how do you feel? Like I've had this experience myself, but I'm curious your perspective is how do you feel when you go to a website and you start the little web chat thing, and then you get the message back, one of our representatives will be back with you within 72 hours.
Right. Next site.
Next site. There you go. So, and that's a common occurrence. So, the web chat, if you're going to offer your people on your website, which you should have a web chat, some sort of a chat bot on your website, forget if you think they're annoying. If you're a business owner and you have a website, if you have a landing page, like having that chat bot on there is like an outreached arm, to that business to basically say, hey, we're here to help you. And people are only arriving on your website because they want help on something. So that's what we want to dive into a little bit today. We're actually going to break this down and show you how you can. Here's some main pillars that we want to try to cover today in open office hours is how you can actually train conversational AI, what kind of modes and options there are, and what type of settings there, what type of conversation channels that this will work within. For example, conversation channels that we talk about would be like Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, Google My Business Chat. That's actually a killer one, as well as your web chat bot, as well as even in SMS conversations. So having that ability to have that conversation and actually carry it forward to a specific intent, that's another thing. So we're going to talk about training the bot. We're also going to talk about configuring the intents, and then of course we want to test it. So we're going to keep it kind of simple and light. and some of these things can take a little bit longer to do the research of like, okay, what's the conversation flow? Because you got to really kind of put your thinking around that, right? So we're going to dive first of all into the different like modes and settings. Like and maybe to help out here, so we're actually resetting up our Connect360.app website. So I'll put that actually, let me put that up real quick here. We're putting it up on the Connect360.app website. And so if you go over to our Connect360 app website, I'm going to go ahead and actually share my screen over here. And let me get this set up here. Let me get a couple things real quick configured here because this is going to actually really, really, really help. Let's go specific. There we go. All right. And let's go over here. And now we'll share a screen. Window, this, and share. Let's see if that works this way. It's not going to play nice. Let's see here. One thing. Why is it not playing nice? We need to grant some permission. So bear with me for just a moment here while we grant some additional permissions here so that I can share my tab. Let's see here. There we go. And let me go over here. Well, I believe we have all the necessary site permissions. That's okay. We're going to pull these over here to a Chrome tab. Let's see if that works. That might be the main thing there. So Connect360.app. And this is a good example just simply because we've actually taken out all of the conversational training here on. There we go. Now we're in the works here. So we've actually taken everything out of the conversational training here with our chat bot. And so this is actually just a perfect example to walk through that there. So give me a second to kind of reset this up real quick. And that way we're ready to rock and roll. I'm going to pull up, for just the sakes of everybody, I'm going to pull up a Google Doc. We're going to pull up Chat GPT and those types of things. So I really want to show you like how easy this is going to be. Log in. And then also we're going to throw into a Google Doc. And the reason why a Google Doc here, okay, is because we're actually going to use the Google Doc to actually train the bot. So this is where this gets really crazy cool to do this. So here we're going to pull this back up again, and there we go. Okay, so first things first here. We want to dive into, for example, maybe some of the modes and intents. I'm going to real quick change back because I want to make sure that I'm sharing the right thing here when I jump over. And I'm glad I did. It's always good to have the right thing set up. So I apologize for the technical snafus. Give us a second and it'll be loaded up. All right. All right. So we're going to use a Word doc just simply because the Word doc is actually, we can make that Word document something that's shareable, for example. And that's what we need to actually, we can basically train that conversational AI bot off of, for example, blog posts. We could train it off of anything where it's all written. Ideally, like I like to use blog posts or other things that are written there. And so we're going to go ahead and jump into our Connect360 account. I'm going to jump over into my settings real quick. So if any of you that are not familiar with what Connect360 is, so Connect360 is our platform as a service. It actually it's an AI powered all-in platform. Simply put, it's like a Swiss Army knife to help with your business. And so that's the cool part of all of this. And so if we look at into like, for example, we're going to jump into Chat GPT. and kind of get some idea, like, for example, like this could be like for healthcare clinics, fitness centers, restaurants, whatever the case may be. But let's maybe break it down to like what chat, what Connect 360 is all about. So, for example, I might dive into Google My Business messaging. All right. And so, for example, we might say, hey, if we're trying to explain what Google My Business messaging is all about, because this would be a powerful one as well. Because if we, example, go look up Connect 60 and Bellevue, we'll see that Google My Business listing here has a very cool feature here called chat. So this is an important one. The huge opportunity here is what were the stats here, Chelsea? Like average Google My Business profile gets like over 1,000 visits per month,
Yeah,
right?
around there. Yeah.
That means your profile is getting 1,000 visits per month, and probably only like 10% of those people call you.
And that's for a small business, right?
Right? Small business.
Yeah.
So the opportunity is huge because a lot of people are like, I don't know if I want to go to the website, they'll retarget me. Right. Or, for example, or I don't know if I want to call them because you know what? That's, yeah, I'll get the receptionist. She won't know what I'm looking for. Maybe she will. I don't know. And they kind of go back and forth on that. But the reality is, a lot of times I want to encourage clients to understand or think about is that if somebody was searching and came across your Google My Business profile, they didn't come there by accident. They were actually looking to try to solve a problem. And that's a really important thing to kind of break down and consider is because if they've gone through that whole journey, right, to solve a problem, why are you not helping them go the rest of the journey? Would be a critical question if you think about it. It's kind of like if you have a retail store and somebody walks in, they're not just looking. I give that answer all the time. How many times do you give that answer?
All the time. I'm
Right?
window shopping.
I'm just looking. It's a reactionary defense response, right? That I'm just looking. So what we're wanting to do is further the conversation. So like right now, we have our conversational. You notice we use the Google Business Chat. I'm going to say, hey, what do you guys do? And I'm going to hit send. Now it's not trained, so it has nothing. So it's probably not going to even answer. The settings aren't there. Those types of things. What you want to think about is how quickly you want your conversational AI to actually answer here. And so we're going to go ahead and actually jump into our settings a little bit. I'm going to show you like what are some of the possibilities and the options here. So as you can see, we have no settings here whatsoever. And so this is the
I want to switch it over.
exactly. This is the let me make sure it's the right screen. It's going to catch up. It's just delayed. That's all.
Gotcha.
So so right here, what we want to do is we want to actually kind of set up like what's default location name. So we're going to say Connect 360, right? We're going to train this here. And we're gonna tell how long do we want it to eat before it responds. We can say, hey, let's give it like 5 seconds. Okay. Now the other thing is there's a lot of humorous things where people are saying, well, they actually ask like automotive web chats like how to write a Python script, and it's telling them how to do that. And so we want to limit like how many messages the bot can send, so someone's just not hammering it all day long. And the reason why we want to do that is not because this conversational AI will answer any question. It won't. It's actually going to answer only what we train it to do. But we also want to limit how much people are hammering it before we move them to a booking opportunity. And that's the important part. So here we can say, hey, send the bot to sleep when I send a message manually or through a workflow. And we'll say, hey, for 5 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to keep it tight. Our cost per response, it averages around 2 to 4 cents, or right around there. There's an unlimited plan that we have on our platform that you can actually use. But in the supported channels, like where do we want this bot to actually respond? And I want it to respond on Instagram, Facebook, SMS, Google Business Profile, the chat widget, and the live chat. Like I want it to respond everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and do all that. So now my settings are set here. Now keep in mind, I didn't have anything trained here and the settings were off. That's why there's no response so far right there on our chat bot. Now we can actually change the preferences as far as, hey, we just want it shut off, we want it to be suggestive, or we want it to be on autopilot. And again, it was off, so that's why again no response. But we're gonna change this to off still for the moment, and I'll show you why. We're gonna jump over here to bot training and also configuring intents. So what we want to try to get this bot to do is its intent will be to ask the below information before sharing a booking link. So what we're trying to do is nurture that visitor down the process a little bit before we show that booking link. Okay, so that way that booking link actually will make sense that they're there at that point in time, and it's really just kind of guiding the conversation. But first of all, let's give it a little bit of training, and let's get some information about how valuable Google My Business chat is. So let's go over to Chat GPT, and I'm just going to ask it, how valuable is the chat feature on Google My Business as it relates to generating new opportunities? So we're going to ask ChatGPT that. So look at this. So we're actually getting it to generate some great content, right? And we're going to use this to actually train our conversational AI bot for Connect360, just so you can see how quickly and easily this can be. So I'm going to explain. We are training a conversational AI bot to explain this to site visitors. Let's see here. Can you give me stats and other information? So there we go. A little bit more of a prompt. So now it's giving us some statistics, right? Oh my goodness, this is just beautiful, isn't it? So actually, what we can do is we'll let it keep generating. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to pull all of this content right here, and we're going to stick this over in here into our. I'm going to say, got it. Okay, we're going to stick this into our Google Doc. We'll paste it. Edit, paste without formatting. Oh, cancel. We'll stick it over into Sublime. Give me 1 second here. So back over here to Chat GPT, we're going to copy this. I'm going to stick this into a text editor and just grab this so that way we can get all of that garbledy formatting out of there. And there we go. So here's our document that we're starting here. And I'm going to go back to Chat GPT and I'm going to pull in key statistics. Okay. And I'm going to pull in this. I'm not going to read it too much right now. We'll fine tune this a little bit later, but just for the sakes of, explaining this a little bit and showing you basically how easy it is to set up. So here's all our stats. Here's just our Google Doc. So we just basically literally created all of that. So we're going to say, hey, copy link. Actually, we're going to say private only. We're going to change it. We're going to share. And what we want to do is we want to say, hey, anyone with link right here, they can view it. That's it. So we're going to copy link and we're going to go back to Connect360 and we're going to paste that URL right there. And we're going to say, get the data. So bam, now our conversational AI is fetching all that information that we wanted to talk about on this one product, right? On this one feature of our product or service. So now look at that. It's ready. It's been trained. Okay. And we can actually test over here and we can say, hey, tell me about Google My Business chat. So now we're getting a chance actually to see if the bot responds in the way that we want it to. Okay. And that's a good start. So we can say, hey, why is this important? So it's really important when you think about conversational AI, you probably need to think about as far as What are, what are some of the questions that people are going to ask? And so this, if you think about how conversational AI is going to be beneficial, not only could you explain things like marketing and all those types of things, but you want to think about, well, what are the top questions that I'm going to get asked, and what are the answers? So we could say, okay, hey, let's go over here. Say, what are the top 5 questions and answers about this? So we're going to break this down. And so this is going to go into FAQs. So here's a good example. We're going to copy this one over here. We're going to go over to this, go back to our bot training, and we're going to enter some questions and answers right here. And then we're going to go ahead and simply grab the answer. Bam. Answer there. Save it. And we're going to go over here. How does it benefit your business? Right? And then we'll go back over here, grab this. So it takes a second and it'll save on our system, but you kind of get the idea, right? Hey, that's a good question and answer, right? Top 5. And so we want to put that question here. And then we'll go back over to here. Hey, we'll grab this and we'll put that into the answer. We'll hit save and we'll just wait for everything to refresh there for a second. And then we say, hey, we'll use this. Now, what's cool is as we do this here, right? As we do this, is that we're actually training the bot with some basic intent. Now, you got to kind of break this down like across different products, different services, different solutions, and then you also got to create maybe some content around. Well, hey, what is your company all about? Because a lot of people were like, hey, tell me what you guys can offer. Can you go a little bit deeper? Whatever the case may be. And so that's something that you want to give into consideration there. So if we look here now, as far as our bot training here, we have 3 questions and answers there so far, right? So let's add one more. Let's add the other 2. So we'll go ahead and put this in there and give the answers all to this. So that way it can actually be fully trained here, or at least a good start. So you can show, what you're learning from this real quick is once you kind of get some basics here as far as what's possible. I think that the sky's the limit here, but you do want to be very intentional, very structured on how you put this stuff together. Because you could inadvertently train the bot to kind of go in loops a little bit because you're putting too much information there. So let's see here. We'll copy this over, stick this in, and we'll go from there. Let's see here. So those are those right there. Let's go to bot training again and say, hey, tell me about Google My Business chat. All right, so cool. It's got that. What else? Okay. There we go. So we're starting to get there, as you can see. Like, so we're starting to kind of break down like what's the important things of what it wants to do. And these Q&As are really powerful. So you might have a long list of FAQs basically to train the bot to handle different missing informations in a question. And this is just simply, the nice thing is like when you get a call and you answer that call with like a customer prospect. I mean, think about, hey, is this what questions were asked and what answers did I give that actually helped them? So document that and literally train your bot here with that. Because now if we go over here, business chat, right? And we should be able to see it respond here, hopefully, unless it's just, I think my session might be caught in the old one. So that's why it might not, we still have it off. That's the other thing too. That'll actually help. So if we jump over here to bot settings, turn it on to autopilot, hit save real quick. now this content that we've used to basically train our conversational AI based upon chat features like, hey, what is Google My Business Chat all about? Right now, if we refresh over here, let's chat. It's going to connect. And it should respond here. A few things just got to connect there, but we should be good. Now, the beautiful part is the minute that this conversation is happening, it's actually creating a lead opportunity, right? Look at that. Google My Business Chat. There, it finally responded. It waited a few seconds. So the benefit here, when you think about it, the opportunity here is when people visit your Google My Business profile and they see that you have a chat option there. Now it offers another opportunity for you to have that conversation with somebody and not pull people off of your platform. So you want to make sure that, oh, was not sharing my screen. You're right, Chelsea. You just need to tell me that. There we go. Now
All
we can
right.
see that. Okay. I apologize, everybody. Like I'm sitting here just talking away, thinking I'm sharing stuff and I'm clicking around. So just to kind of recap, like what we did for this conversational AI is we focused in on like one product. So for example, if you might be a mattress retailer, what you may look at is you might say, okay, hey, listen, what I'm looking for to do is help them to understand the different brands we carry or what they need to consider when they are mattress shopping. What are the top things they should consider? And these are what are the top 20 FAQs that I get asked all the time? Like literally load this up because it's going to bridge the gap of what person's asking and the answer that they need to see. Now, the nice thing about conversational AI and actually turning this on to be a live thing is you're controlling that gap between when the visitor visits your site, right? And how soon they get a response. And the quicker you respond, like 5 seconds may be actually too long because it kind of felt like eternity there, right? So we actually may want to go back here and say, hey, I want to respond like in 2 seconds, and we'll save this. So um, now actually ask that bot like other things that would be perhaps valuable about it, right? And so we can say, hey, well, why is live chat valuable? Let's see if it deals with it too. That's actually good. That was actually rather intentional. So let's see if it gives us. So what we may have to do if it doesn't give us a stats there, like okay, there it offers real time engagement, increases conversations, and improves customer service efficiency. There you go. That's excellent. That's actually too bad. And let's see if this gives us something. So we got to start to think of like, well, what questions are going to be asked of the bot. And what's cool is if we go back over here to our conversations on our system here, we're going to jump into that in just a second. Hey, but there's a response. So literally over time, as that chat bot gets engaged with, it's going to better its responses and better its responses. So really the conversational AI, you can see the application, the benefit of application here is we can integrate it into your chatbot that's directly on your website. We can actually turn on a feature in Google My Business that a lot of businesses don't know about, and that's a live chat feature. And really use the conversational AI to carry the conversation until a live operator basically gets on. What are some other things that you think of, Chelsea, as far as like powerful benefits where conversational AI would be a powerful factor?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, for businesses that already have a web chat, um, so you can the benefit for programming it is that like spammers who try and contact you, this AI will try and stir the conversation back into business. And so, like in our case, we had a spammer try and reach us, and well, I guess they were trying to reach somebody specific. Our AI was like, "Oh, no, well, I'm not John or whatever, but I can help you with marketing solutions." And then it just kept trying to get that
Right.
conversation back into what we do, you know?
Right. Well, and then that's the important part of not going too broad, right?
Mhm.
Is you want to actually have that conversation be a solid conversation, right? And really on point. You're not going to want to obviously have your bot having a conversation and just kind of go off the rails a little bit. So what the nice thing is with our platform here is you can actually watch as that bot has that conversation right there. And it's extremely powerful. Like right there, if you see the conversation that's going on. So of course I chatted with my it got my grabbed my name and created an opportunity. So now we can actually say, okay, I'm gonna put in my number here. And let's see if our bot there should actually grab that number. Oh, there we go. We got that. So it can assist that. But we could actually have it ask a question like, "Hey, what is your phone number?" or those types of things, and then this data can get populated into here over here. So from a lead generation standpoint, this offers a big opportunity. Now, see what she was talking about there too is the better you train your bot to on topic and give it an objective to basically to achieve, that objective it's going to hold to. So she was referring to an example that we had where we actually had a somebody accidentally text our our conversational AI bot, and it just held its own in conversation on marketing, and it didn't let up off of that. So definitely some value there for conversational AI. If you train it correctly, it's going to benefit your business. It's a really cool thing when you incorporate it into your web chat, SMS, your Facebook Messenger, your Instagram Messenger, all of those different features there. So definitely a strong, powerful asset for your business. Where can people learn more about this, by the way? What website?
Connect360.app.
There we go. There we go. So this is our first open office hours. And I don't know why we put our BGD logo back up again. Now let's change that back over there. Anyway, there we're fixed. So this is our first open office hours. What we're doing is we're actually having this open office hours every single Friday at roughly 3 o'clock Central Time. 3 o'clock Central Time. So if you'd like to get into the know on open office hours, just go to connect360.app, shoot us a message, reach out to us. We'll get you included on the open office hours. So that way, hey, if you want to cover something specific as far as your business is concerned, maybe it's things like websites, maybe it's social, maybe it's email campaigns, email marketing, those types of things. We definitely would cover those topics, cover those sections right here on the open office hours here with Connect 360. So we appreciate all of you jumping in and joining us. And until next time, we'll see you next Friday at 3 o'clock Centralish.
Yeah.
All right. Follow the social channels because what we'll do is we'll be scheduling these out so that way you'll see an event. You can tag and see what topic it is. See if that's a topic that you want to jump in on and where we can actually help you on something. And so we look forward to it. Thank you.